Welcome to Engineering is in Our DNA, a podcast series where we talk about the next in engineering that is powering the future for businesses across the world. To open the series, we have Mphasis CEO Nitin Rakesh in conversation with Senior Vice President and Head of Mphasis Digital and Cloud, Yash Subramaniam.
Designing technology to empower business has always been at the top of what we do at Mphasis. As the leader of Mphasis Digital and Cloud, I see how we deliver this every day in our digital solutions, leveraging cloud and cognitive platforms as we help our clients transform their businesses today. Today, I have the opportunity to speak with our CEO, Nitin Rakesh, more about how engineering is in our DNA and how this approach is at the center of what Mphasis does and offers its customers. So, good morning, Nitin. Nitin, what does the topic engineering in our DNA mean to you?
Morning, Yash, and great to be at this podcast. I think if you think about what engineering means as a branch of science technology, it's all about design and building of solutions. Having been trained as an engineer, by basic qualification, we used to thrive on finding those problems that we could design and find a way out of. Right. So there's always been this concept of understanding how we can use the elements of design and solution building to solve daily life problems. Applied to business, to me it really means that all of our efforts in working with our clients should be attuned to helping solve problems, not just for today, but for tomorrow and day after as well. Right. So I think to all our employees tuning towards this engineering mindset, it's really all about utilizing all available technology within the constraints of customers' environment and doing it within time, and of course, in budget, but really solving those day-to-day business problems.
So, what makes you believe that this engineering that you just mentioned is indeed in Mphasis' DNA?
Sure. I think if you go back to the beginning of the Mphasis era, late 90s, I think the founders had a very clear vision of bridging the gap between business and technology, right? This techno-functional mindset. The foundation included building a strong architecture and technology focus combined with good understanding of the business. Now, if you really looked at even one of our very first taglines, it really talked about architecting your tomorrow. What that really means is we're going to actually design solutions that will help you solve problems, not just for today, but for tomorrow. I think we've built a lot on that base core foundation over the last 4 years, as we started thinking about using the same muscle memory to bring T back into IT. T standing not just for technology, but also transformation. And of course, we've used a combination of core, depth in tech, alongside the contextualization with domain understanding. So I think at the core of our offerings are the 8 tribes focusing on bringing these two things together. And that really tells me that, we've really found a way to engineer, solutions for clients that are replicable, scalable, that give impact in time, the whole bite-sized mindset. All of that really comes from thinking it, solving like an engineering problem.
So can you tell me a little bit more on this, how is Mphasis applying this in helping its clients in a changing world?
The one thing that we've seen happen over the last 12, 18 months is this massive acceleration in many underlying trends. And I think every business is now turned into a technology business. And I think if you remember, we used to say every business is a digital business. I think it's never been truer now than before. So in today's world, having that mindset of applying tech to solve many, parts of your business architecture, I think there's a blending between technology architecture and business architecture, and that cross section is really where I think Mphasis has a sweet spot. The agile mindset that we bring to the business, the ability to understand underlying trends in each business, marry them with underlying, technology interventions that we can bring. We really are taking our customers on a journey where, they're starting to see the impact in every part of their business, starting most importantly with their end consumers.
And are there some, if you will, fundamental underpinnings to this mindset and the trends that, we are trying to address as a company?
The fascinating part is that, the older mindset used to be that as things age, as machines aged, you needed to replace them. I think the self-learning and cognition has become a key integral part of every solution that we are seeing, especially, with embedded software. And I think software is kind of the underpinning of almost every solution today anyway. So I think this ability for software to get better with age, solutions to get better with age is something that is a whole new concept that, wasn't really a classical way of thinking about things, 15, 20 years ago. Of course, neural networks have been around for a long time, and so have, many fields of AI, but the rapid advancements we've seen in just the compute, combined with advancements in software have just made it, everyday life. And I think the art of the possible now is how do you use that to improve your business architecture, and most importantly, the experience of every, stakeholder in that value chain.
And you did a great job in helping me understand the what of the mindset. Can you tell me a little bit more, sort of how of the mindset? And I know your book mentions quite a few things as well, but how is this mindset applied on a sort of day-to-day basis as Mphasis brings this to solving complex problems?
I think you referred, it in your question itself. So I think obviously the very first change really is the mental model shift that I talk about in the book as well. But most importantly, I think having the mindset to not just solve for what's on hand, what's the stated problem, I think, but look for, what's really the underlying, issue that you're trying to solve for from a business standpoint. So I think, again, going back to the roots of understand business and technology, don't take the problem statement as a given, but question the problem statement in itself. And I think we always say, right, we want to shift left in our business, and we want to show up and help our clients define the right problem to solve before we can start throwing solutions at them. I think that, to me, is the how. That's the most important part of this mindset and this change. And of course, looking across horizons, don't try to solve the problem with what's on hand today, but keep an eye on what's around the corner, right? And a great example of that is the whole quantum initiative that we've decided to undergo over the last year or so. And we're already starting to see that, how using some really, complex problems, we are able to actually find ways to solve using quantum. So I think that's another important aspect. Don't try to solve for what's available, visible today, but start looking around corners.
Well, that ties very nicely to sort of what you said earlier in terms of using not just a today focus, but tomorrow's focus, and it's tomorrow's problems as well. So thank you, Nitin. This was very enlightening. And as a practitioner applying this in my business and helping address client issues, I think my teams will benefit. Appreciate the time and look forward to more conversations.
Thank you.